Yo, what's up? It's Jacob from Thornhill, and you are listening to Interview Under Fire.
Hey there, everyone. We are here with a brand new episode of Interview Under Fire. This is your host, Sunny, back here once again. Today, I am so stoked to welcome back this insanely talented gentleman you see doing some house cleaning, Jacob Charlton. Brother, it's an honor again. Always great to have you here on IUF. So thank you so much for doing this. I know we're midway through 2025. That's
Oh,
crazy to
don't
say.
say that.
I can't believe I even said that. Dude, hey, hold on. Hold on. I know I'm not, don't say that, but what a year it's been for you. For
Yeah.
you and Thornhill with the release of your album Bodies, dropped on April 4th on UNFD. A lot to talk about this. Jacob, are you good during this interview?
Oh, yeah. Are
Okay.
you ready?
Are you? I'm good. This is gonna
I'm
be
ready.
very unique, dude. Before we get to everything, I know we talked about it in the pre-interview. It's been a minute, bro. I mean, about 3 years since we last got together and talked about what we love most about the music.
Mm,
You're currently in Portland, right? If I'm not
yes.
mistaken, on tour, dude.
Hmm.
You've been busy. How are you? Let's exhale. We got some catching up to do.
Yeah, dude, we got a lot of. It's been a very busy year. It hasn't even. It like we've said it before, but after this tour, I think we're all gonna have a bit of a break because we didn't really have a break for Christmas because this was just
Sure.
so flat out. And we're definitely in need of a little relax and maybe, kind of like take in the flair. What are they? What's the fucking expression? Why am I losing my mind? Take in the smell the roses. There you go.
Whoa, that is crazy. There was another friend that had actually made that reference about take the time to stop and smell the roses. Why are you
Yeah, that's the
telling me the
thing.
same exact thing today? Uh,
Oh no.
the irony of all that. Hey, you're saying you're taking a break, dude. You're gonna be back here in Dallas later this year with freaking landmarks.
It never ends.
It never ends. I
It
mean,
never ends.
and
No.
for people who don't know, you guys are on tour with Avoid, Ocean Grove, and Banks Arcade. I'll get that. I'll get to that in a second. But Jacob, I know we're talking. I don't mean to. We're talking about timelines, dude. 10 years of Thornhill, if I'm not mistaken. I do want to talk
Oh,
about this
don't
because,
say that.
hey, Jacob, dude, I'm a fan. Let's really talk about this because
10 years.
I don't care who you are. All right, it's not easy to accomplish what you guys have done in that time frame. Three full-length albums now with Bodies. You've done these obviously these endless tours. You came through. I saw both times you guys were here in Dallas last year. I didn't get a chance to say hi to you in
Mm,
person, but I saw you guys with Norplane. I got to actually interview Marcus that night. Great interview. And you guys came through again
gotcha.
with Silent Planet earlier in 2024. You guys came through Dallas also with this tour. I missed you guys. I had a family matter to take care of at that time. So sad I
Of
missed y'all.
course.
Hopefully don't miss you again later this year. But here's the thing, Jacob, are you someone who looks, I don't know, do you look back on the early days on the days of this band when all this began for you? Because you've come a long way personally, dude. We talked about this 3 years ago, like ever since we last spoke. But uh, do you reflect on that? Even take this moment to, if you choose to reflect on something like that.
No, not normally. We're not like a big looking back kind of band. I think we look forward very often. Like we learn from mistakes for sure.
Yeah,
But I don't think we really reminisce. I think we have recently on this tour, just because we played a lot of the same venues that we've supported. And it's been really
sure.
cool to like, be the ones headlining and be the ones in the headline green room and then realize that it's just like the same as everything else, like
Yeah,
a lot of stuff like that. But nah, we tend to look forward. I think that's probably the
sure.
main motif of Thornhill.
Hey, that's a good answer, dude. Some people look back, some people, look forward, and that's the only way to do that. And hey, that's a
Mm.
good bit. I may use that for myself as a motivation factor in the future. But Jacob, dude, here's the thing. You have one hell of an immense range in your vocals. I finally got to see you guys in person twice last year. If anyone who doesn't know, please go check out Thornhill's discography. I don't know if you get a chance to talk about this as much, but dude, I mean, your influences, whether they're personal, whether they're professional, I mean, briefly, who are they, Jacob? And I guess what do they mean to you? Because at the same time, you also have this talent on directing your own music videos as well, which I mean, what another thing that I love about your talent. So, just influences. Can you name some off the bat, off the top of your head?
I'd say Jeff Buckley is
Yeah.
always going to be the main vocal influence. He just as well as I don't know, for his age too. He had one of the most insane voices. The control he had in his mixed voice, and his falsetto it's unmatched, and it's something I've been aiming to accomplish, especially recently. It's funny you say this because like I feel like the last 2.5 years, I haven't really been that interested in being like the best vocalist because I think I was in denial that
Hmm.
I was a vocalist. It's just like not what I enjoy doing. It's not like my preferred instrument. It's not like something I felt really passionate about. But recently, before like full bodies especially, I trained pretty extensively to be a lot better so that I can enjoy the tour more. And I just like have such a new kind of drive to be as good as I can be. And
Sure.
that's been really cool. I think it's hard to sometimes find motivation for something that you weren't that interested in at the start, but like recently I've just like felt like I've got that dog and I'm gonna come home and practice every single day, I think, and just especially after touring with Marcus from Northlane as well.
Yeah. Man, I
Because
that's
he's phenomenal.
dude. The day we interviewed him was on his birthday, and we got him a cake from Bucky's. It
Yeah,
was
that's cute.
it was so awesome, and hopefully we you and me get to do this at some point down the road, maybe later this year. But and here's the thing, I know since you're on the road, I want to maybe tweak this interview up a little bit because one of the things that really brings out the best in you, Jacob, I mentioned I saw you twice live last year. I mean, that's no accident. I wanted to see you live because the way that you guys have really represent yourselves on stage. You mentioned Northlane, you mentioned Silent Planet. I feel like out of anything you've done in your life, Jacob, I mean, this is where you are in your element. Fans get to actually feel the band's personality, your personality. We actually wrote a really cool piece on your band on our website after we saw you guys for North Lane. And it's a weird thing to think about, right? Because you could say something like, "Hey, I'm shy in person, but when you are on stage or when I am in the concert environment, you get to release some tension or something in yourself that you don't get to do anywhere else." It's not like you're gonna do this at like a Taco Bell or some shit, right? But when you're in the on the stage, like, do you feel like that's something you can channel only on stage?
Depends on my mood.
Hmm.
And it also depends on the crowd. I think when you do 26 shows in a row, it's easy to feel a little bit like mentally tapped out, I feel, because like you're
Sure.
just such in a like routine of like this is what I do, this is the moments I do this is when I say this is when stuff like that. I feel like it can kind of just go, and sometimes you miss the energy. But like I think when you get a really good show and you're up there, like you can really lock in on who you are, why you're doing this, what it means to you, what the songs feel like, what the crowd's giving you back. And I feel like that's a really special moment, but I like that they don't happen that often
Hmm.
because if everything was good, nothing would be good. And I think we think
Yep.
about that a lot.
Yep. Good good and
Um,
bad.
yeah, but I do like had to have separation. Like there's parts of, I mean, especially in the heroin process, like I wanted my stage persona to be very different to me. But as I've grown and as I've done this as a full-time job and as Bodies has come out, I've realized that they don't have to be that far apart. And so I've kind of
Okay.
just added a bit more of my own personality on stage and just said stupid shit and being a bit of an idiot because that's what I am in real life.
That's
And I think
okay.
it makes sense, like it makes sense for this band because we're all a bunch of fucking four idiots that don't really know what's going on, but like we love music, we are very passionate, and that's kind of all that really needs to be there to connect with.
Perfect. That's why I wanted to be in that environment. I relate to each and every one of you. But dude,
Yeah.
hey, how's the tour?
Mm, best tour we've ever done.
Hey,
And to be fair, like best crew we've ever had. Like we've
shout out to
we've
the
never
crew.
been. Shout out to the crew.
Dude,
They
seriously,
fucking
I feel
saved
like
us.
people don't know much about what the crew does behind the scenes. They see what the product on stage, but it's not without that. So,
No, the band does the least half the time. Um, no, we have amazing TM, amazing front of house, amazing
yeah.
merch guy who's sitting right here looking at me.
Hey,
Um,
merch guy, we love you, man. Keep doing your thing, bro.
it's his
Uh,
first time, and he's been great, and first time photographer as well. And so we've been very, very lucky with the people we've surrounded ourselves by, and it's a big shout out to them, to be
I'm-
honest.
can I give a just a Jacob, you're really humble. Can I give a little shout out to you, bro? Because since the
Yeah,
last time
we're not doing
hey,
anything.
hey, 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 listen, since the last time we spoke, I want to say that I've seen your growth in the last 3 years. I've told you that I've followed you guys since 2015. I remember these conversations, okay? Your path from when you started the first 7 years to the last three, dude, I have to applaud you because there's a sense of I want to say there's a sense of inspiration that really comes from someone like you, maybe somebody who's also inspiring to get into the scene one way or the other. You're seeing results, so I want to give you this reminder, maybe this moment to also, celebrate those along the way because you're seeing that. And dude, I've been listening to nothing but bodies for the last month. I jammed
Let's
it today.
go.
I jammed it today at work. And that's just a testament to your craft because not only is you're putting the product out there, but seeing that personality from you, like who you are really about deep down inside, like, dude, this is Jacob shit. This is, the band, Ethan, Ben, Nick, like all you guys collectively coming out together and putting this product out there, something that you're able to channel productively and put out there into the world. I want to celebrate that. So I just want to give a little shout out to you. That's it. No more. We're
No,
not
I
talking about any
appreciate
more
that.
about you, okay? Not about you. That's it.
No, I
But,
appreciate you for listening.
dude, hey, so here's the thing. You're on the road. Can we do a little pre-tour prep here? What are some essentials you bring on the road, Jacob? I mean, you can name just one thing. I'm not expecting everything,
No, I
but
can give you a good list.
okay,
I have a massive list. I mean,
sure.
because we come from Australia, we need to bring an adapter for everything, which
Oh,
sucks.
yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Um, always gonna bring our switches. What are you doing? Always gonna bring my nebulizer, which is
Yep.
like for my
Yep.
voice.
Definitely.
Um, always. What else is it? What's a big one that I always use?
I always get
I like
so
just
many.
headphones.
Okay.
Headphones are a big one, like my AirPods, my over ears, like anything for the flight, because our flights are like 14 to
Yeah,
24 hours
dude.
long.
Hey, I just got my passport this year. Australia is one of the countries I want to visit in 2026. So
Let's
I
go.
I,
Where do
I
you want to
may
go?
I may give you a shout. Melbourne. That's the
Yeah,
first place I want to go to. So
for sure.
I may give you just a little DM. So look out for that.
Okay.
I've always had so many crazy answers for that question because I've had some artists say, yeah, I bring like this blanket with me that I've had since my childhood. I bring a stuffed animal with me, something that like gives you that mental.
Oh, I've got one of those for you. I always bring a note, like a little note that my girlfriend wrote me.
Really?
It's like a handwritten letter that she's given me
Dude,
that I take onto her everywhere.
dude, right on. Hey, this is gonna be a conversation of shout outs. So shout out to your girlfriend.
Shout out my wife.
That shout out to your wife. My apologies.
No, she's
That's
not
a
actually my wife,
oh.
but I call her that.
Shout out to the girlfriend
She will be. She
slash
will be.
wife. Yeah, she's gonna be listening to this. So hey, no pressure. Dude, hey, what is it about Texas? You guys always put Texas and like Dallas on the list. What is it about us that keeps bringing you guys back? What do you love about Texas, dude? Are you really our cousins?
Maybe. I mean, it's funny because we've played some shit shows in Dallas. I'm not gonna lie. Dallas
Like,
didn't like us in the heroin process.
really?
But they've
That
they've come
was,
back around pretty hard.
I mean, twice last year, and then twice
Twice those,
this year. Yeah.
yeah, those ones have been good. But I remember when we came here with Dayseeker, it was like one of the worst shows we've ever played. People were like grossed out by us. It was very funny.
What year was that? That can't be.
2022.
I wonder if it was probably right after we spoke when that happened. I know we're closing out this tour pretty soon, Jacob. Are you getting to spend any time in these cities, like being on the road so much as you have lately? How much time are you getting to spend for yourself?
It just depends. It depends on the routing, depends on the
Hmm.
time, depends on like if we have plans. Like we, if it's New York, we're always gonna get up as early as possible and go
Fuck yeah.
everywhere because we love it. But it also depends. Like some people on tour are like, oh, we have this spot that we always go to, or we have a spot that we always go to. I mean, we're touring with a lot of Americans, so they know kind of places and
Perfect.
things that they want to do. So, but honestly, the four of us, we're also tired and lazy and broke. So a lot of the time we're just gonna stay on the bus and sleep. I don't know. So just
You,
depends what it is.
what is it? Was it 2 months ago? Was it last month? I can't remember. So there was a bit Wind Waker. I don't know if you know those guys.
Yeah, we tour with them.
They came through, and dude, shout out to Liam and Indy from those guys because me and my brother drove down to San Antonio to hang out with them and make them suffer during that tour when they went through the States. And that's like the one thing they said, like it helps having like a US band with them when they're touring. So they know like what to see and what, things to like check out. Things what a popular thing we hear is Bucky's. You know about Bucky's, right? Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, yeah. When we interviewed Marcus, that's the cake we got. We got a cake from Bucky's and we
Mm.
gave him that. That was so great.
We've only
But
been once this tour, which is rare.
oh, you got to do it again. Hey, you got another one coming up this year, so let's see if we can make that
Mm.
happen. Speaking of this current tour, by the way, let me know how we're doing on time. I'm gonna make sure I'm respectful about that. But
Yeah, I gotta get my innies remolded at some point, but we should be fine.
okay, okay, just keep me posted, bro. Okay, I got you.
Yep, of
I
course.
want to talk about this current tour with Avoid, Ocean Grove, and Banks Arcade because this is your first ever North American headliner, man. That's a big
Mm.
deal. You know, Jacob, opening or closing a show, what's more fun?
Main support's the best you can get, in
Yeah.
our opinion. Main support, you get the best of every world, I think.
Okay.
Headlining is good, but it's such a different day, it's a different tour. And I don't really want to ever open again.
The
Opening's a bit
challenges,
rough.
dude, the challenges of opening a show, right? Because you don't
Yeah.
know how the crowd's gonna be. It's like, okay, because that's a big task. Having the opening band kind of set the tone and
Yeah,
then
one
lead the
and
way
two
from there.
is definitely difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've been through that. Now it's like, all right, you did your time. Now it's time to do the headliner. And here's the thing, I ask a lot of questions about chemistry between, different members of the same band because I find those kinds of stories really interesting. We've covered that before with Heroin, right? But in this case, I do want to talk about the chemistry between the different bands on this tour because I feel like there's some history in there. Like, do you think it takes chemistry to make tours like these work, Jacob? And if so, what kind of chemistry do you take with you out on the road? Because I feel like you get to know the other bands pretty well deep into the tour, like now. I mean, you kind of develop that camaraderie. How do you feel about that?
Well, this is the first tour I think we've done in a while where we started the tour and everyone was already best friends.
Awesome.
Because we toured with, I mean, we've known OG since our inception. We've known Banks for a very long time as well. We actually met some of the Avoid guys on our Dayseeker tour in maybe Dallas. No, it was in
Oh,
San Antonio.
okay.
Because there's like two rooms there, and they were playing on one tour, and we were playing on another tour, and we met them. Like, so we kind of, and we knew them on the internet and stuff. And Joel, our front of house, has mixed with them before, so like everyone kind of knew everybody.
Yeah.
Which was really cool. So going into the tour like that is we'll never get it again, but like such a sick start. But yeah, you do form bonds as tours go on. I mean, we didn't realize that because Australian touring was only a week or two long. So by the time you've played your last show, It's when you start to break the ice and you start to be like, oh, actually, kind of like you guys. Like, wait a second, I can't believe you're flying out today, you know?
Yeah.
So American tours are really good for that, I think. And having a bandwagon and like a space to like house people and hang out and stuff has been really cool. No,
I've
we
done
love it.
I've done so many interviews on bandwagons with bands like yourselves. Like I'm familiar with that myself. Bandwagons
Yeah.
are great, dude. Like I know the layout, full everything. You got a back section too, where it's
Yep.
like just cozy. I mean, just think
Oh,
about
well,
it.
I don't think we have that. I
Oh,
think you're
not
thinking
that
of a
part?
bus.
Okay, okay, okay. And then got that tour with Landmarks and Silly Goose and Resolve, I think later this year. Resolve, good friends of mine. I'm gonna make sure I go to that tour because that's a one hell of a lineup.
Yeah,
Um,
we met Resolve the other day.
did you meet Robin?
I Yeah, I drove, me and Maida, our drummer, we both drove
Yeah.
the gear vans for their Australian tour
That's
to the
pretty sick,
airport.
dude.
Yeah, so
Um,
we met him at the airport. They were lovely.
can we talk about bodies? We got time to talk about bodies
Hmm.
for a second? Okay, because my heads will explode if I don't talk about this. This follows up 2022's heroin, like we talked about. That's also been in my rotation since then. You can't really see it, Jacob, but you set a bar that's pretty high. It's right there, but it's so high. You s- you said it so high because it's the well representation of who and what Thornhill is with bodies, dude. I thought you guys reached it with heroin, but you one-upped that with bodies. And I don't know who said this. I have a quote here, a record that drives in the moment, capturing our band at our most authentic and free. Check. If I were to introduce someone to this band, which I have done in the last month, I would play bodies. And
Let's
at
go.
at times, this album, just hear me out, it radiates, and I never use the word radiate, a lively, almost like festive energy, but yet it still holds on to the raw emotion and power that your fans associated with Thornhill, like ultimately making this, in my opinion, your most intense dynamic work so far. I think I was gonna say people will be very satisfied, but you've seen the feedback. They are satisfied this one. I mean, but Jacob, enough about me. Like we're a month into this new album, right? How do you feel now that this album is out there in the world? Is there a sense of success? Are you laid back, or is it right back to the drawing board to writing music?
It's probably a bit of everything. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm really happy it's out, thank God. I'm glad that our top five slash top 10 on Spotify have pushed out all the shit. Um, I don't know.
I
We're
love
always the
that quote.
biggest. Yeah, we're the biggest haters of our own music and everything that we
Yeah,
do. I'm not
yeah,
gonna lie, but this is the first time our band has felt like we've found a sound that we can now build upon. I think we've just finally reached a point where all of our music tastes kind of came together. The writing process kind of worked. Like everything that we tried worked, but now we know what we do different, if that makes sense, and how we
yeah,
would build upon that to make it better. So I think this is the most excited and inspired we've felt, and it's also the best we've felt on stage playing. I think we like it, normally by this time
right on.
with a like a US headline set or an Australian headline set, normally we would hate half of the songs already.
Yeah,
But we're all having a great time, and that is such a rarity in our band. So I think we know we've done something right, and we all know that, Nerve's our favorite song pretty much that we've made and played live. Like, so there's definitely a lot more certainty within the writing process, which is something we haven't had in a while. So I think we're feeling very good. I think we're feeling tired, so we're keen
yeah,
to just kind of relax and the second half of this year is going to be crazy for us.
yeah.
So we're kind of just taking it in as it's happening.
Pat yourself on the back while you're at it, bro. I was gonna ask what your favorite song was. You said Nerve. Can I just say the placement of Fall into the Wind was so perfect because I'm a big fan of interludes. So it was
Same.
so perfectly placed. It sets you up for the second act of the album, if I can call it second act. music buff,
Yeah.
movie buff, excuse me.
No,
But
that's what we do
uh,
normally. That's the
it's
plan.
it's either Nerve, Crush, or For Now. Those three songs, I keep switching between the three. Which one's my favorite? It may be my favorite. Nerve may be your favorite today. Crush may be my favorite tomorrow. You'll have to just ask me. But your identity as a band is there, and this album is proof of that. Like I know it's you guys. You know what is it with you Australians? Like it's like every band out there has its own genre. It's insane. But it's
I
that's
mean,
like
we talk about it a lot, like, and I think it's just because the best bands you hear are the ones that could get over the pond to America, like
exactly.
such a different standard.
Yeah, dude, like that's the case with Northlane, that's the case with Make Them Suffer, Wind Waker. But Jacob, I'm gonna let you go here, but here's the thing. I know we covered a great deal of topics in our conversation here. Dude, it's always great to have you back. The discussions we've had are just so in-depth and enjoyable. You being really true to yourself and sharing your perspectives on IUF. You make my job easy, dude. So I appreciate that. I can't wait to see you guys here in Dallas again later this year. We're entering an important part in not only Thornhill's career, but I think you too. If you were to give your 2015 self advice from this version that's sitting in front of me, what would it be?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I've made every decision I should have. I think the only advice I'd give myself would be personal stuff rather than anything music related. I
Sure,
think
sure.
if anything, maybe I'd say practice and go to a vocal coach and do it early so that you don't have to do it freaking now. Um, but other than that, I feel like everything's happened the way it should for the reason that it should, and I'm just stoked to be here now.
Love you, brother. I appreciate that answer. Last question. Have you seen Sinners yet? From one movie buff to another.
Yes.
Okay. Holy shit. What a great movie, right? I think it just kind of low key just came out of nowhere. I don't want to say came out of nowhere because it was kind of just trailer. No one was really talking about it until it came out. But dude, Ryan Coogler did it again. Dude, he's like
Yeah.
a very underrated director. The set pieces were amazing. The costumes were amazing. Dialogue just anyway, I just wanted to I was like Jacob has to have seen this. Like this is kind of
Yeah, we all
his
watched it on our off day. Yeah. I thought it was good.
yeah,
And it didn't hit me the way I thought it was gonna, but I feel like
same,
that's when things get overhyped, I think you kind of put it up here and then you watch it and you're like, yeah, okay. Like it was good. I was a bit disappointed at the vampire side of things. I wanted more of that.
same here, dude. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But it was cool. Like the practical effects were really, really good.
I want to see. I don't want to spoil it for. It's brand new, so I don't want to spoil it for
Mm,
anyone. But, dude, I'm gonna let you go here, dude. Have a great last few days of the tour, man. Nothing but love,
appreciate
nothing
it.
but the best for you and the band from here on out. Have a safe flight back, man. Dude, I will see you later this year. Cheers, brother.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you for having me. It's
All right,
always
man.
lovely.
Everyone, this is Jacob from Thornhill. Bodies is
Thornhill.
out now. Please do me and him a favor. Stream the record, buy the record because the bands can't do it without your help. If they are on your way to a show right now, they got a couple days left on this tour. Please go see them. Take it from me. They are a treat, and I mean a treat to see live. Holy shit. Don't forget,
Sometimes.
you can listen to this podcast on all major podcast streams out there. Check us out on interviewonfire.com. Jacob, much love, brother. I'll see you next time, all
Thank you
right?
for having me, man.
All right, stay in touch. Bye.
Peace.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to Interview Under Fire podcast. If you guys liked what you heard, please subscribe and share our channel. And please leave a 5-star review as that helps us tremendously. If you'd like to check out more, visit www.interviewunderfire.com or our social media channels on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And finally, we want to thank you all for the support you've been giving us. Keep it burning.